Hello and welcome to The Big Fight, a show that is young at 23, the oldest running debate show in the history of Indian news television. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. This last week, we saw an electoral contest. Now the results, many would say, are not very surprising because it's a bit of a status quo. Those who are in power remain in power with the same formation or formulation. The BJP had a grand victory lap because they feel that of the 9 electoral contests in 2023, they've bagged 3 and 6 more to go. But there are many questions here that emerge for the lessons that one can learn and what one should do in the future electoral contests. First, the 6 in 2023 and of course the big one in about a year from now, 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Number one, should we really be comparing Vidhan Sabha results with Lok Sabha? Because history has it that results have been totally different. For example, in Delhi, you've got the Aam Aadmi Party in the Vidhan Sabha, but all the Lok Sabha seats go to the BJP. In the past also we have seen in 2018, elections were won by the Congress in 3 states, but then in 2019, something totally different happened. So is that comparison fair? Number one, we'll put that to debate. And number two, if this has to be a contest between Narendra Modi's BJP and the opposition, which is consistently flirting with an idea of an opposition unity, Vipaksh Ekta, then how close are we to that idea? Or is this a case of 9 years and counting and the opposition unity is still something which is a product of the opposition's elusive mind? To each his own. Let's put this to a debate. 3 down, 6 to go, 2023 results. What's the message for 2024? I would like to introduce our guests in the studio with us, Advocate Mahima Singh, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Thank you very much for joining us. Satya Prakash, JDU spokesperson. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Bhaskar Ghosh, leader of the BJP. Nalini Singh, senior journalist with us. Pradeep Bhati, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Professor Sanjay Kumar, psephologist and professor at the CSDS. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us. In the beginning of this broadcast, and by the way, we'll have 2 more guests who will join us via satellite. Riju Datta, spokesperson of the All India Trinamool Congress, is also with us. We'll soon have Rajat Sethi, he's a political analyst, views lean towards the BJP. Join us in just a short moment. All right, we begin with the first punch where each of you panelists get 1 minute time for your opening comments. We'll begin with you, Advocate Mahima Singh. Your time begins now.
Well, I would say that the political discourse in this country has become a conundrum indeed because of the BJP's ways, how it contests elections. Its tendency to cling to power, I would say that, has brought hatred, violence on the forefront of this discourse today. And what we see is that, they may have, won back the power, but with much less vote share, with much less seats, only 2 in Meghalaya, I would say. With the violence that the Tripura's, electoral discourse started with, I would say it is not a moment for celebration in India. And yes, the opposition is united against the anarchical ways, the ways of hatred of the BJP, and I think we'll find ways to fill the gaps.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bhaskar Ghosh.
I think with due respect to everyone, let me put this point, whatever the Congress spokesperson has mentioned, it is in contrast with what exactly has happened. So these 3 states, Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland, their 3 states reflects the sentiments, the psychology and the solidarity of the common man of India. If you go to Tripura case, you'll find this urban seat, Muslim seats and Dalit seats, 3 major component of society has been owned by the BJP. If you talk about the Bengali Hindu factor over there, which is could be a shadow effect of the West Bengal, there also BJP has owned 26 out of 37 seats. So from tribal to ST to Muslim, minority, urban in Tripura has shown their confidence in BJP. Similarly in Nagaland, also the minority Christians, they also shown their confidence in support of the Modi ji's development model, and in Meghalaya also marginally BJP is present over there. So initially in Northeast, Initially, it was a Congress was the nucleus, and other regional parties or the small parties was creating the entire cell. Now, Congress has been totally replaced by the BJP, the model of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas. And now all regional parties are supporting BJP and forming the government and be a part of the mainland.
Time is up. I'll come back to you. Ms. Nalini Singh.
Thank you very much. Sanket, you're talking about opposition unity. And I think the latest successful challenge that was mounted was by the Congress coalition in 2004, but against a weaker NDA. And after that, 5 major parties had joined in it. It became the UPA. But now, the BJP is a formidable force, and it is based on Hindutva, on nationalism, on Labharti welfare, and on what it calls its development agenda. And in this, I would have to say that when we look at so this is the template against which the opposition has then fight. Index of opposition unity tells us that in 2019 the opposition was much more united, or the index was much higher than in 2014, and yet BJP got 303 seats, more than the 282 that it got in 2014. So one has to look at what exactly is happening, and I would say I would draw a lesson, if I were in the opposition, from how BJP's phenomenal performance in Nagaland. Because here in a Christian state, etc., its strike rate is 60%, over 60%. But you know, the interesting thing is that this was seeded in people's minds, in the population of Northeast, 85 years ago by the RSS, so which has done meticulous work, etc. Will the opposition be able to do that? So therefore, I would say opposition unity can only happen when there is a policy overlap between parties. Otherwise, voters
I think that's an important point, and we'll put it to a debate also, that rather than a person addressing a personality issue as to who will lead, you have a policy issue on what will be your common minimum program on which you which can work as a sort of a political glue for everyone.
And also be strategic.
I'll come back to you. Riju Datta of the Trinamool Congress.
The 2024 general elections will be fought on basis of people's issues versus BJP's jumlas. Issues like unemployment and inflation. You know, in Meghalaya, the beautiful hill state of Meghalaya has given us 5 MLAs. The BJP and its supporters are dancing with joy that they have formed the government in 3 states of the Northeast, whereas in Nagaland they are in the 3rd or the 4th position, and in Meghalaya they have got 2 seats. I'm sure they have managed to do all this because they are in Mahagathbandhan with the AD, CVI and IT. And for example, in Meghalaya, I just want to mention one thing. In rally after rally, they said, Chunav se pehle, you know, everything is dynasty politics, corrupt politics. So basically, Chunav se pehle, corrupt dynasty, Chunav se baad, tumhare papa the hamare bestie. So this party is full of hypocrites. We are going to take it head down. We are not going to cower down. And I believe the opposition is united on the issues of the people, and that is how the 24 elections will be fought.
Professor Kumar.
Sanket, what is the strength of BJP? If I look at the various state assembly elections held during last, say, 2-3 years, there are 2 strengths of BJP. One, BJP has been able to expand its support base in the rural locations, among the poor voters, etc. If you look at the various state assembly elections, BJP has managed to win a large number of state assembly elections. The second strength is the divided opposition. There are states where BJP's vote share has gone up and they registered massive victory. There are a number of states of that kind. But look at what happened in Tripura, and it happened in some other states also. Vote share goes down. Still BJP manages to retain power. Why? That's the second strength of BJP, a divided opposition. So for 2024, the only way for opposition to fight BJP is to unite. I'm not sure even if a united opposition will be able to defeat BJP, but that's the key. Opposition needs to be united if they want to put up a contest against BJP. If opposition is divided, this is what has happened in Tripura and many other states. That's likely to happen because even if BJP's vote share goes down, they would be successful because of a divided opposition.
Okay. Satya Prakash.
Definitely Nitish Kumar ji is running a government in Bihar with the support of 7 political parties. The first man who shouted and in a very loudest way that let unite to combat and contain BJP. There are 63% vote which BJP has never got in the past previous election, and 3 major political parties, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray and Akali Dal and JDU left BJP. BJP has reached to 303 due to certain kind of Pulwama based support of these 3 political parties. So urgency and requirement of now is to united opposition, and Nitish Kumar has openly said to the Congress that if we got united, BJP will be reduced to 100 seats in the coming election, national election. So, Bharat Jodo Yatra completed by Rahul Gandhi, it should be started with the Vipaksh Jodo Yatra. There are reservation of several political parties due to their, compulsion in several states like Mamata Banerjee in Bengal and Kejriwal in Delhi and KCR in Telangana. But on the common minimum policy or any kind of program which can combat, like price rise, 11 times the cylinder rate is high, unemployment rate is very high. These kind of things should be just put forth before the people and get united to defeat BJP.
Sure. Mr. Bharti.
A greeting to all. Firstly, I want to congratulate the Nagaland 2 women ever elected in the Assembly of Nagaland. So from Samajwadi Party, firstly, heartily congratulations to them. Secondly, 51 visits of Prime Minister, 74 ministers and 400 or visits of these ministers in the Northeast is too little to get 10%. They have reduced their vote share in Tripura and forfeited approximately more than 43 seats in Meghalaya, where we are hyping the victory of BJP, where they have in the 2 states they are just a little 2 to 12 seats in Meghalaya and Nagaland, where they are doing their best to showcase this victory as they have done something very big in terms of Northeast is concerned. Secondly, we will talk about the unity of the opposition. We have to see that Congress or the leading fronts from the opposition side, they should sit together, talk about the issues which are related to the regional parties as well as the issues, the concern to them, whether it's a social issues or the economic issues, where we have to see that and we have to come on this common platform to do that.
1 minute time is up. I'll come back to you. Rajat Sethi.
Yeah. So, Sanket ji, my entire assessment of the situation has been that any kind of an artificial alliance creation on paper will not see any significant results, though you will see temporary increase in vote shares here and there, but any permanent impact on 2024 election, I personally do not feel a credible impact coming in with this. You will see a lot of contradictions in very important 6 state elections which are going to happen in the near future. You will see, Congress would fight tooth and nail against the BRS. You will see in Hyderabad still Congress party is being attacked by the police and by Karyakartas of the BRS party. So all of these confrontation in these 6-7 states you will see open out in public. So any kind of talks of unity among the opposition is going to largely remain in a wishful thinking. It will not see light of the day till there is convergence of credibility. Credibility till the opposition parties do not come together on, and that credibility has to be an ideological commitment to certain set of causes, and parties who are in power, they need to present before the nation that this is an alternative model that we are focusing on. It is only and only then that the public would start believing in what they have to offer. Till now, there is no belief in them. This is why this project of opposition is a non-starter.
So you feel, of course you will, that the project of the opposition is a non-starter, but what must stop anyone from toying with this idea, even if it is work in progress for the past 9 years? But still, one can try this possibility. Mahima Singh, you see, the problem over here, just taking from where Rajat Sethi left, you look at the comments that have been made in the recent past. Mr. Kharge, last week in the Congress Mahadiveshan, the Congress plenary session, he says we will unite the opposition under the leadership of the Congress party. He made that comment earlier in Karnataka as well. A few days later, he goes to an opposition gathering in Tamil Nadu where he says leadership is not the problem. let's just all come together, right? Two different points of messaging. The main issue of concern that many opposition leaders have is that the Congress's constant effort to pose itself as the big brother is the problem. So we should all come at a common ground and then decide what to do. Then you look at Mamata Banerjee, who has recently made a comment that she will go it alone. She does not want an alliance. On the other hand, the Congress is calling TRS and TMC B team. The point that I am trying to make, Mahima Singh, is how do you then ever get together? There will be no meeting ground ever. And this is 9 years and counting, by the way.
Before I come to answer your question, I was hearing my learned colleague from the BJP speak about the victory, and I would not go without adding 2 cents there. Nida Fazli Sahab has said, मैदान की हार जीत तो किस्मत की बात है, टूटी है किसके हाथ में तलवार देखना. So you see, I have talked about the anarchy, I've talked about the hatred, the violence. In charge in Tripura, Dr. Ajay Kumar was hit and was stoned at. That's how the Tripura campaign started. Mr. Pawan Kheda was, we've seen the whole drama that was created by the BJP in connivance with the Assam police. So that's the political discourse on one end that we're talking about, which I think all of us, all the political parties are aligned with and inclined to unite against the BJP for. That's one thing that unites us, to protect the democracy, to protect the Bible of democracy, that's the constitution of this country.
May I please interject?
Yeah.
You said that the victimization by the BJP is the one thing which can unite everyone, right? All the people in the
anarchical
opposition.
Ways, if I may say.
Manish Sisodia was arrested, right? There was no statement from the Congress party. At least the central leadership and your state unit in Delhi actually welcomed this arrest.
I would say
You
that...
see, this is just one example of the many. In Bharat Jodo Yatra, many people from the opposition did not join. Let's say, for instance, take the example of Uttar Pradesh. Akhilesh was conspicuous by his absence. Mayawati, conspicuous by her absence. And many other leaders chose to give it a miss. So does it become a sort of a tit for, like an ego trip?
Not really. I was coming to the second part of, I talked about what we are united about or on. What we are divided on, I'm coming now to the second part of my answer. What we are divided on, what we may be divided on, is individual ambitions. Politics is all about your individual space, your individual participation. And I think each political party is operating with that.
And the Congress is no stranger to this ambition.
Should not be. Why should we be? Because I think that's what it is about. Representation of your people's issues, representation, fighting for. No, it goes hand in hand, I believe that, because
ambition and issues.
So I would say that, you see, issues fuel your ambitions and your political space.
Okay,
issues is what would. See, when we talk about the Northeast also, another point that I must add without, before we move ahead, because I think the rest part of your debate should be about the concrete ways in which we'll unite and we'll work it out the strategic way. There was a bypoll also yesterday, Sanket ji, and you would remember that 3 out of those 5 bypolls have been won by the Congress, and not with any slim margin like the BJP has won many of the seats in Northeast. We've won by margins like 10,000, 20,000 indeed, 3 seats out of 5.
So you feel that this is also an indicator?
It is indicative of the presence of the Congress party, of the force that party has always been. Yes, we are operating in times when people have ceased to ask questions, when it's a time when the BJP is actually thriving on.
Bhaskar Ghosh, you see, one of the points that, the sense that I get from what Mahima Singh is saying is that you have managed to convert a very ordinary win in the Northeast into something spectacular, out of this world, that the BJP has done. Whereas the Congress party, from a basis what you have said, has very quietly won on the ground and not made a huge song and dance about it. And all of this will culminate in 2020.
Yeah, and I understand. Now let me put my points. What do you mean by the quietly? What do you mean by quietly? Because there is no result to be speak about, right? Today in Tripura, why we're taking Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland? Take the entire Northeast, starting from Assam to Tripura. Now today, who is the common party, who is the one national party, who is...
Come on, you can't celebrate Meghalaya.
All right.
Your win.
Now I'm telling you,
Two
who is that?
MLAs.
There's two things. Whether I have 2 MLAs in Nagaland also, we have got only 12 seats. But we are into alliance. Question is that NDA is the alliance. Today NDA was forming with X number, Y number, doesn't matter. UPA is the alliance. Now if our alliance win, it is not our win. Of course it's our win. Now we individually winning in Tripura, that means it is not our win, it's alliance win. So that is a concept today Congress is not understanding. Congress today cannot be a nucleus of any alliance in national level because they are failed to invite any kind of ideological parity. Be it Bihar, their focus is something else. So once upon a time there was a time when say कांग्रेस के साथ कौन है और अब पूछा जाता है कि कांग्रेस किसके साथ है. This is the status they have today enjoying, and they are talking about the national politics. Today they are not no more a national party.
I'll give you a right to reply. I'll give you a right to reply. One moment, Mr. Bhati. Do you feel the Congress can rightfully claim to be the nucleus of the opposition?
Before that, I want to ask, I want to answer the BJP for that. Well, I mean, they are demeaning their the partners, the allies, where they haven't talked about their alliance in the last night last night celebration, where their seats are almost double. Their partners allies they have doubled their seat. They have double seats than BJP. Their vote share is almost double. They are not talking about that. So they have demeaned every alliance. Which you talk about Maharashtra, you talk about Punjab, you talk about
Bihar. Long-term alliance
so they don't have actually. Tomorrow the day will come. Let me come to that. That's a jumla. Let me come to अभी तो ये गुमान में है, विश्वास में, हम सभी अच्छे दिन की आस में that day will not come. The day will not come.
And you're understanding the jumla is for you and it's not a jumla for the common man.
No, I'm talking about from the side of the common man only. You are not the only one who is talking about the common man.
No. See, I want to come in and keep the focus on the debate that we are having. One moment, Riju Datta, as well as Professor Kumar. I want to ask this question of Professor Kumar. Do you feel that there is a weird situation where managing so many expectations, aspirations, ambition over issues, that is taking priority over issues, and this has become like a, because this is wedding season, a quintessential Indian family wedding, right? वो हमारे घर नहीं आए तो हम उनके घर नहीं जाएंगे. He has not written with family in my card, so I will not take my family. He gave me 500 rupees, so I will also give 500 rupees. Because many of the things that are being spoken, you look at, I will speak to Riju Datta right now. Riju Datta, why do you feel that you should not enter into an alliance with the Congress party? Tell me. Because I remember you made that comment in an earlier show. Why do you not want to enter into an alliance with the Congress?
Very simple, because they are faltering on their ideology. They have an unholy nexus with the CPIM in Bengal.
Quintessential Indian family issue with the at wedding.
With the help of BJP.
उन्होंने वो नहीं किया तो मैं
the BJP is coming. You want to tie up with
that's why
the BJP is coming. You are the rightist.
Bhaskar Ghosh, one moment. This was a question for Professor Kumar, and this is just one example of what ails opposition unity.
And there are several examples of that kind. So I think when we talk about the issues, I think there is no disagreement among the opposition parties. You talk about issues, price rise, unemployment, this whole issue of institutions being hijacked, all kinds of things, ED, CBI being misused. On all these issues, there is a huge consensus. None of the opposition parties or no leader of the opposition party would say, no, we don't agree to this. But when it comes to sitting together, coming on a platform, especially on the issues, we don't see that happening. For the last 6-8 months, there have been only little talk about some regional parties, leaders of regional parties meeting here and there. I think Congress needs to take a lead, which I think is missing.
Take a lead?
Congress should take a lead.
In what? Because many regional parties feel the Congress must not take a lead.
Again, this is a differences of opinion. Many regional parties are not ready to, at any cost, align with the Congress. And we can keep, say, Trinamool Congress,
KCR party.
KCR, Aam Aadmi party. Then such a situation, how do you expect all opposition parties to come together?
So the onus is also on these regional parties and not just on the Congress.
I think onus is...
To at least have an open mind.
I think it should be the joint responsibility of all the regional parties, including Congress. If they want to really form an alliance, I think the time is running out.
Yeah.
They need to come together, discuss the issue, common minimum program, which is always talked about,
Yeah.
and then come together.
Satya
I
Prakash,
think
do you
personal ambitions is what is coming into the way.
Everyone's personal ambitions should be kept on the back seat, right? Mr. Satya Prakash, you see, we all saw those pictures of Mr. KCR as well as Nitish Kumar, where there was like a 15-minute long, very, very uncomfortable chaliye na, baithiye na, and the issue over there, and that explained what ails opposition unity. The issue was who will be the leader. Where Nitish Kumar wanted to avoid that conversation, KCR wanted to have that conversation.
Media can have interest in who will be the leader or the prime minister, but it is certain there will be a leader. First of all, there will be principle and policy, then there will be a leader. You mentioned वो मेरे घर नहीं आता, मैं उसके घर नहीं आता. There is a saying of Wasim Balelbi, इन एहतियातों से ताल्लुक मर नहीं जाता. When he claims that there is a sabka saath, sabka, sabka vikas. This is not reality. Basically, on the front of price rise and unemployment, they are just doing, sabka uphas. That is the, reality. What I am trying to tell on this big fight, that there is a 63% vote share against of the BJP. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there are regional forces which will be united under the umbrella of common minimum policies, common minimum program. Let the time come, at the right point of time, what Nitish Kumar ji has already stated, let the Congress talk to every political party separately.
So you also say the initiative has to be taken by the Congress?
Yeah, now the ball is in the court of Congress.
Sure.
It is the biggest party.
Mahima Singh, it's very clear from this discourse, and I'll bring in Ms. Nalini Singh also, that with 63% vote share, there are bargains to be had. Do you feel that now is the time to be large-hearted, bada dil, not bada bhai, have a big heart and have that conversation? And I mean, this should have happened yesterday, if I were to believe what Professor Kumar is saying.
I think it's not about Bada Bhai, and I don't think if that's what has come across. I think the Congress has always taken the lead. What the co-panelist just said, for the past many years, in fact, it's the Congress that's been calling meetings. In the by-poll also, it's very clear that out of the 5 seats, it's in only Jharkhand, one regional party has won. 3 seats out of 5 by-poll, won by the Congress. So, yes, Congress has a presence even in the remotest of the areas of this country, which I think every opposition party agrees on.
We disagree.
What we
No, you disagree?
Yeah.
Okay, one more.
Present-
I'll come to you. I'll give you a right to reply. No, one more.
Maybe on paper,
Let her complete. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that, that is a matter of fact, that where none other has a presence or a voter, Congress has a voter.
That's the point.
They may be disagreeing with the Congress's stance today.
Ms. Mahima Singh, the concern over here is that while you are entering into a direct contest of over 100 seats out of 543, the BJP has a strike rate of 90 plus, 95% in fact.
See, I want to show a picture to your viewers, also the co-panelists and the other parties here. See, in India, if we go by the census 2011, the BJP's vote share today, if you look at the larger picture, it's ruling in 16 states. Out of those 16 also, it's only 10 where they are on their own. And the governments have mostly been forged by the, what you call, defection, engineered defections, I would
Operation
say.
Kamal.
Yeah, Operation Lotus, or we call it the other way, in fact. So we would say that, so 10 states, they are ruling by majority. And 40, it's only, the number that I have is 48.7% of Indian population, if you go by the census 2011. That is ruled by the BJP today. Whereas there's 52% in this country which is still ruled by other parties.
Sure.
All we need to do is, I would go with Nalini ji on that we need to sit down and work on strategic framework. We'll do that.
Who will
Congress
do it?
has been taking the lead, and
How
we
will
shall
you do
take the
this?
lead. We shall take the lead. We did it during the
Okay,
Bharat
one
Jodo
by
Yatra.
one.
We were joined by the party.
Nalini Singh first, Riju Datta, and I'll come to you. I know I have to come to you. Yeah.
I think
Mr.
that
Bhaskar Ghosh, I know you won't, raring to go. And out of courtesy, you're not speaking, but I will come to you also.
But you know, I think that it is a question also of BJP's narrative. As has been said, that the impression, the perception that people, the common person will have is that, oh my God, this is the dominant party, or koi hai hi nahi. But in fact, statistics might show, but that narrative is something that BJP has crafted.
Yeah.
So BJP...
For instance, the celebration of this win.
Of the two MLA win in Meghalaya, with Conrad Sangma under so many investigations and so many criminal cases, etc. So that the opposition doesn't bring out. What do we do? But you know, there is BJP today is Modi, is unlimited money, and there is a streak of ruthlessness. So if this is it, and they have a wonderful narrative, now the Congress, on the other hand, will have to understand that these are things that the voter is absorbing. So when they go in, and in fact I wouldn't really agree that let the Congress take the lead and get everybody together. I think the model has to change, Sanket, now. This is not working. So where the Congress has a direct fight, that I understand, but people should get out of the way in a way. Look at the Kasba Pet in Pune yesterday in Pune, and where the MVA actually fought, was supportive. But look at Pimpri Chinchwad, where they had a friendly fight and the MVA lost, the Congress lost. So the MVA candidate lost. So I would just say to you that now the time has come for imagination now, which is, this doesn't work. Why are we insisting on the Congress doing it at an all India level? Where it has its strengths is where the Congress should be taking a lead. And in the others, it really has to be at a sub-regional level. When you see a constituency where a Sanket Upadhyay is dominant, or is ahead of the others, people have to sit down at the constituency level or at the constituency cluster level and say, look, I think this party is here, so we are all going to support. Now, if such a model would come, so there is a Congress plus its allies in the area.
I hope you're expecting a great degree of sacrifice.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this requires seeding, CEDE, not the other seeding I was talking about, seeding space to other political partners. So what I would say is, if this doesn't happen, this is strategic. This is the equivalent of the BJP saying, we don't care about beef, we don't care about Christians, we don't care about dynasts, they're all ours in the northeast, but in UP
in the heartland,
we will lynch
if
you have this. So I would say that this is strategic, and it has to come to that now.
Okay. Let's quickly go to our guests via satellite, and then I'll come back to Mr. Bhaskar Ghosh and Mr. Bhati. First, Riju Datta and then Rajat Sethi. Riju,
I'll just take a little bit
of point on who leads.
I'll tell you. See, BJP and its supporters and its spokespersons and even the media is jumping with joy after 3 results as if 2024 is a foregone conclusion and Vishwaguru has again become the Prime Minister of India. It is not the case. BJP has won 2 seats in Meghalaya, 12 in Nagaland, and
you are fighting with the nota. You are
let me finish.
Ghosh, I'll come. I promise I come.
And in Tripura, your seats have been reduced. So please don't jump with joy because you are a party of hypocrites. But Congress, I want to tell the Congress that Congress should also understand that they do not have the paternal right on the opposition space. After their big Bharat Jodo Yatra, out of 96 seats, they have won only 8 seats in the Northeast. That is a percentage of 0.08. So my logic is this. The opposition is united on people's issues, I agree, but Trinamool Congress will fight alone 2024, taking BJP head on in Bengal and wherever we contest. Let the other parties decide, and I believe there is no need for a united opposition per se.
No need for united opposition, you say?
No need for people, because I believe if Akhilesh ji wins Uttar Pradesh, if Stalin wins Tamil Nadu, Mamata Banerjee wins Bengal, and if we go along with at par with the result of the Vidhan Sabha, BJP is not coming back to power in 2024.
Okay.
There no need to have a formal
So in the opposition, there is very clearly a feeling that there should not be any arrangement. And the point that Mr. Bhati was also making, that Congress should not think that it exists everywhere, all over the country. Why did you make that assessment?
See, the first thing I want to counter that there is no personal ambitions as such. The ambitions for the people for whom we are serving, that is the ambition number one. Honorable Akhilesh ji never said that people, they always say that people are first and then we are second. So for the personal ambitions thing is that it's just just talk about the people issues. So before that there is some, the Congress has to see that they are bigger stake in the UP. UP being such a big state, they have to see that they have very, I want to say that very humbly that they are marginalized in Uttar Pradesh. So they have to see that where they have bigger stakes, they can show their stand over there, and they have to come. No, we are not saying they have to. Definitely they have to be a party, national party. They will, and they have to.
But they must be reasonable about that.
Yeah, they have to. They have to.
In 2009, Mr. Bhati, in 2009, I remember the very famous, Ms. Nalini Singh, the very famous quote by Mr. Digvijay Singh of a friendly fight between SP and Congress. Because SP out of 80 was giving the Congress 5. You know how much Congress got in UP?
Yeah.
Because they decided not to be in an alliance with you, upwards of 20. The highest ever record of the Congress party in 2009 from UP was because they chose not to be in an alliance with you. Because you were only giving them 5.
See, we have to see in the perspective. First is that what has happened in last 10 years, we are talking about more than a decade before. So what has happened, you have to be more realistic on that front.
Now
so where we, definitely yes, we have to see those things. We have to see the ground where we have workers on the ground. That is very, very marginal Secondly, I want to say to Mr. Bhaskar, he was talking about Nota and all. So they are definitely fighting with Nota in Meghalaya with more than 50 more than 50 deposits they have.
Which party are you talking about?
I'm talking about BJP. I'm talking about in Meghalaya. And second thing, one more thing.
TMC is fighting with the Nota, 0.85% against.
Okay, sure. I get your point, but let's quickly come back to the point on Modi versus question mark, and how does that question mark get its answer. Rajat Sethi and then Mr. Bhaskar Ghosh, because he has been very patiently waiting. Rajat Sethi.
Yeah. Sanket ji, when I see it from a distance by the courtesy of not being in the studio, I get a bird's eye view. And all I can hear is this jamburi, everybody throwing all kinds of crazy statistics. But from a public standpoint, nothing means any, there's no credible sense that one can draw out of this. Somebody said that look at the numbers, 60% are against BJP. The same has been true from Nehru days as well. Even Nehru didn't get anything above 43-44% vote share. So this means even at the time of Nehru, 56% were against him. What does it imply? It implies that, the remaining 50-60% is so fragmented that by any design of nature, they cannot come together. It is just virtually impossible. You can't do a math like that. It is as naive as it can get. The problem here is, look at from a common man's standpoint. What is the aspiration of the common man which is not being satisfied today? Please fill in a model. Akhilesh ji has been in the government, come out with policy papers, come out and have a constructive discussion. All you discuss about is who is going to lead this alliance, who will be the PM face. Nitish Kumar has separate ambitions. He is finding himself uncomfortable with RJD. So is Akhilesh ji finding himself uncomfortable with other parties in his state.
No, you are wrong. We are welcome all. We were there with KCR, we were there with Stalin, we were there with JDU. What are you talking about? We were there all over.
Talking about the
no, you are absolutely wrong. You are absolutely wrong on that. Akhilesh ji has welcomed every alliance, and alliance for the people, not for any
alliances that he has
individual.
done have not really delivered. Okay, in 2017 alliance with Congress failed, 2019 alliance with Mayawati failed. Mr. Bhati, I'm
So what?
In fact, your own alliance partner OP Rajbhar is not with you right now. He says all sorts of things.
So you know better reason for that, why he's not with us before the election, what he was talking about against the BJP, and now second day he changes
now you
his
don't
thought.
like him also.
Sorry?
Regarding the cycle also.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry?
Now.
Yeah.
All right. Should I?
Please.
So I was just I'm just adding one word, Jamburi, over here. Why? Now the position of the opposition unity is like a black hole, no gravity. Whom they want as a leader? They have lost the status of opposition in the Lok Sabha. 55 odd MPs are there. And today they have lost all, except Himachal, they have lost all elections last year. 0.8%, that to margin of Himachal. And they want them to be a leader of the opposition, so leader of this. And who are the followers? Mamata Banerjee, who has pronounced very candidly and very vehemently that, okay, I don't want any kind of alliance. Now, under this situation, so now my next answer is that even 42-43%, 38.4% is our vote share in West Bengal, but we are not in power. So being a cephalologist, I can understand that getting the vote and getting into the power, winning the seats is a different ballgame altogether. So that should not say that, okay, fine, we are just having this much of percentage of votes. Sure. Now, people are talking about ED and CBI. You tell me till today, a single case with a CD and CBI, the largest action of ED CBI is in West Bengal today, as you know. A single case where ED and CBI is arrested and court has opposed that, okay, you shouldn't arrest them, you should let them free. Not a single case.
By the way, the ED has a very pathetic conviction rate.
There's two things. Yeah. One is that ED has got an objective of bringing
less than 1%.
Bringing it to the court of law, and the court of law will decide. But I'm talking the primary action. They're talking that is in politics of the vendetta. Every arrest done by the CBI ED till date is not being challenged.
If we get into CBI ED, then there will be the whole discussion about washing machine. There are more than enough examples of the number of people who have come out
squeaky clean. We'll discuss that also.
But
what I'm talking is today is subject. Coming back to the subject matter.
Please.
That Congress as an opposition leader, where they're standing today themselves, their own performance is at stake today. Their own existence is at stake today. They have lost all the corners of this country except 3 states today. So, my question is that whatever we are discussing here is real jamburi, because these are all theoretical discussions. Like a black hole has got a zero gravity and nobody has tasted
everything
that.
is theoretical.
Everything, because there is no opposition, because everyone is moving in different directions.
Professor Kumar, I want to ask
and we are listening it for last 9 years.
We have seen that the success rate of a forced opposition unity for certain reasons in the past also, when if all forces have joined hands, they have been successful politically, but they have not had that sort of a political glue to be together for a very long time. You look at the JP movement, right? It is still, you still hear of many bifurcations happening even now. Do you feel that the idea of opposition unity is unreasonable and not practical? That it can't happen? And even if it does, it will fail to deliver in the long run, thus making your opponent even more powerful.
I'm not sure that if there is an idea for opposition unity that makes your opponent more powerful, but I think things have changed in the last couple of years. There is a tendency of counter polarization, and also in some state BJP's vote share has gone up so high that even if there is an opposition unity, that united opposition would find it very difficult to defeat the BJP. 2019 Lok Sabha election, 16 states, which includes some small states as well, 16 states BJP's vote share, 14 states BJP's vote share was more than 50%, and in 2 states along with the alliance BJP's vote share was more than 50%. Even if the opposition comes together, how does the opposition defeat BJP in these 16 states? It becomes very, very difficult. But I think, going back to your question, the idea of opposition unity, I think there is a need for an opposition unity. I am not suggesting that there is a need for a national opposition unity. I think state by
regional
state,
levels,
state by state,
at the state level. But is it practical? Will it work given this whole debate that Mahima Singh was talking about of ambition versus issues, ambition and issues?
If the opposition really want to contest seriously against Prime Minister Modi and BJP,
seriously being the key word.
Seriously being the key word, because otherwise there is not going to be a serious contest in 2024.
This is what I have been saying, that now the opposition has to think of another model, another format of coming together. And in those seats, just to repeat myself, whether Congress has a direct fight, maybe 191 or whatever the number is, with the BJP, it has to have another model, and all the other opposition parties have to agree that this is where the Congress will be, we will support the Congress. And in the others, it really has to be constituents-wise, cluster-wise, basically policy, there has to be a policy overlap. Otherwise, people, now voters know that this is an opportunistic alliance. The other thing is that the BJP comes up with extremely coherent narrative in every election. You remember in 2004, if I am not mistaken, it was the poor versus the elite. The UPA did it, Congress did it, and that was a good narrative, and it worked. But I would say that over here, if the opposition, whether it is the Congress-led 191 seats or the others led by others, the narrative has to be simple and it has to get home. And as far as this thing about counter mobilization, that is also phenomena. If the opposition says we are strong over here at the BJP, we will weaken them, there is a counter mobilization, and we saw this in UP when the BSP and the SP came together. They in the heartland they did win 15 seats, but in eastern UP, in Rohilkhand, etc., they lost. They were nowhere. So it was 62, I think 62, BJP got out of 80. So this combination, this coalition of SP and BSP should have gotten them much higher numbers than the ones that they got, the 15 that they got or whatever. So I would say that there is something, but Sanket, if a message could go out from your program to the opposition, they have to come together in different ways now. You cannot expect different results if you keep beating your head against the wall and say that the results will be different. They will not.
Which is why I asked this point, Mahima Singh. Is it just not practical and feasible? You've just heard Riju Datta. He says we should not enter into this grand umbrella coalition. This is the Trinamool Congress's view. They feel that they are fighting fit. And this same gut instinct worked for the Congress in 2009 in UP, the example that I just quoted. So why should someone in the opposition be blamed for having those ambitions? And given those ambitions, then how will you ever have unity? It's the same thing happening over and over again.
I would say it's not about, I don't think blame game is should be talked about at the moment, or should be the thing of the day with the current scenario and the challenges that we are posed with. And I would say that what the TMC spokesperson said, I resonate to an extent that, we are a quasi-federal structure. We are a parliamentary democracy. We are not a presidential democracy, which the BJP is quite hell-bent on turning us into, because they have this one face that they project. God save them when the one face, is not strong enough. Please do not interject, I did not disturb. So, so we are still living in a parliamentary setup, and I think issues take a center stage when you're in a parliamentary setup. We are not in a presidential setup where you project this face and you celebrate your victory even though your vote share has, slid down considerably, and your seats have slid down, because this face, is the one celebrated by the people.
Face and personality matters. I mean, we can say that we have a different electoral system, but face and personality matter. In 2009, Manmohan Singh was your face.
Well,
you won the election. You went into election with that face. Sonia Gandhi was
we went
your
into
face.
the
Rahul
election.
Gandhi was your face.
We went into the election with the issues, Sanket ji. As I will maintain that the issues have always taken a center stage when it comes to politics with the Congress, and I would say with most opposition parties. And I think before 2014. Before 2014, this is how it was.
The centralized form of campaigning, what were you saying?
Exactly, what I would say, that face. Now, they don't have face today. Their face is, in Cambridge, and they're losing in Northeast. Their face in Italy, and they're losing in Rajasthan, right? So where is their face? Now, how many times their face has so-called face? How many times their so-called face has gone to Northeast? How many times? This is on record. How many
What will you
times
do with
this
the faces?
country's Prime Minister, Home
The common
Minister
man is
and the
the
top
face.
cabinet minister has visited Northeast? It has been already statement, quote unquote, that we never thought that he will come to our
Even if you
village.
think that there is
So
no
question
face,
is that
these people
you
will
are
defeat
trying
you because
to
the
project a
price rise
face
and
who
unemployment
himself
will
don't
kill the
want to
BJP.
project a face.
Don't worry.
And you're talking about the
My
face.
point is, why should one
We did have a
went on,
See the arrogance of BJP.
If you get that
Yeah.
face,
Sanketji,
first
see
of
the
all,
arrogance
whatever
of
is
the
your
BJP.
ideology,
They are
whatever is
talking
your
about-
agenda,
They are not
has
talking about
to
that.
be has to be
They are not
spoken by
talking
your
about
face
that.
only.
Your
Your
faces-
face is
your
face
faces-
is a question of
By the way,
ideology and agendas.
Mr. Ghosh, your faces from the BJP went to Meghalaya and criticized the NPP, saying
Right.
that we'll order an inquiry
Right.
against this government
And where
for acts
dynasty
of corruption.
and other
now
issues,
you are,
corruption
will you
issues.
order an inquiry?
One second.
Now you are in the government.
And one
second.
must be
These are
reminded
your
of-
faces.
One must be reminded of Amit
What
Shah
about
in his
the-
stance that whether we
There
are
is
2
so
or
many
20,
cases.
we'll form the government.
Yeah.
Again,
Whether we are at 2 or 20, we'll form the government. That's the kind of confidence that they boast that reeks of autocracy.
Yeah.
We are talking about the face, now we're talking about the dialogue of the face. You're talking dialogue of the face.
Yeah.
So if it is
Dialogue
a,
can change.
no. If it is
Depending
a
on
dialogue
the
like
election.
the corruption case to be probing, it will be probing in.
No, now
Two
you're the
different
government.
issues.
Oh.
Two different issues.
You will probe Conrad
They are running
Sangma
behind
now.
And
knocking the
also-
doors.
It is subject, the probing is not,
Washing machine.
probing
Yes,
is
they
not.
are running
it is-
behind and
it is
knocking the
under
doors.
yard.
Washing
It is
machine.
decided by
They are
the
running behind and
agencies.
knocking the
But
doors.
the question of the alliance today, we are having alliance with them, we have fought separately in Meghalaya. But you don't give an example of Nagaland,
Bhaskar
you
Ghosh,
don't give an example of
Bhaskar Ghosh,
Tripura.
your faces
you
went to
don't-
Meghalaya to say that Conrad Sangma is corrupt. There will be a probe against him. Now you are in an alliance. I have a feeling that the washing machine has been switched on.
Let the
again.
time come.
And what-
Let the
Let
time
the time come.
come. Let the
You
time
are saying
come.
you will take
What
action
time?
against.
And a Maharashtra
Action
will be
will be taken by the
repeated.
agency,
And a
not by us.
Maharashtra will be
Again,
repeated.
political party don't take actions, it's taken by the agencies.
Okay, lovely.
And what about
Yes.
the cow slaughtering and all? What about those issues? They are talking in north about the about what is
By the
being
way,
done
the
to the
Meghalaya-
This
people and
country
Meghalaya-
is a
Meghalaya
unity
chief
in
of the
diversity. This
That's
country
the-
composition.
Oh,
is
now
unity
you're
and
talking about
diversity.
diversity.
cow-
Oh,
not
and you're
separated
slaughtering
northeast.
people.
No,
That
again,
is a diversity.
unity and
That's your
We
diversity.
have to respect
No,
individuals to
So
society.
what you are doing here?
And
What you are
not
doing here
this
in
is not a
Rajasthan,
stand
UP
to
and
be
other
taken at the
places?
time of
In the
elections.
heartland. What are you
To
doing?
save their face in the
Okay.
coming 2024 election. If
I
opposition
needed to
unity
add
happens.
something there.
Again, every election comes, before election they say they will not be safe, and after election they already, they try to save their face
They
only.
can contest
Our
an
face is
election.
not
They
safe,
can
their face is
contest an
safe.
election in Nagaland.
Before
Without
Gujarat they say will be
they can
wiped off.
contest-
No, this is a change of faces. How many mukhotas they have? So now they talk about something here.
They
Now they
say
talk about
we
something
will
else.
face
You have
off,
many
and after the
faces.
election their face is off.
Okay.
After UP election,
Sure.
Akhilesh's face is off.
Bhaskar ji, one more.
Then who will be on the handle of the cycle and who will be in the carriage of
don't
cycle?
worry about
the cycle.
हाथ में साइकिल साइकिल पे हाथ में पता नहीं चल रहा है.
Okay, Bhaskar ji, running out of time. Closing comments, please.
The
Yes.
epitome of audacity is when they contest an election in Nagaland without making a mention of Naga political issue in the manifesto there, and win some seats, and then flare those celebratory flags. So I think that's the stance of the BJP, and your opposition will find its way to protect the quasi-federal structure, parliamentary structure of this country.
Okay,
country's
thank you
democracy.
very much. Mahima Singh, Rajat Sethi, Satya Prakash, Bhaskar Ghosh, Nalini Singh, Pradeep Bhati, Riju Datta, as well as Professor Sanjay Kumar. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming on this program. The news continues on the other side. Stay with us.